I was watching a video from a guy running for president, doesn't matter who he was, but he was talking about automation and the well-documented fact that while your job might not be in danger of being taken over by an AI, the top 5 jobs in the country are. And when I say top 5 jobs, I mean the ones that employ the most people. And number 1 at the top of that list was administrative and clerical work. Now that covers a lot. It covers people working in Excel, doing inventory management and database nonsense, but it also covers people taking phone calls, making appointments, and negotiating with other human beings and trying to resolve conflicting schedules. Right, so hang on to that for a second. People have recently been getting upset at YouTube for actually quite a lot of stuff. Depending on when you're watching this video, it's going to be a different subject. But if I were going to generalize the problem people have with YouTube, it is a basic failure of YouTube to provide services for either advertisers or content creators or the users. Advertisers tend to think of YouTube as a dangerous place to put ads, with the result being that they tend not to advertise there, which makes it difficult for content creators to make money off their videos. Meanwhile, YouTube's automated copyright detection system routinely flags content that is either fair use or original content created by the YouTuber that it just misidentified as belonging to someone else. And it's the YouTuber's burden to prove that it's actually their content, not content belonging to the person making the copyright claim. Meanwhile, users find that they are regularly unsubscribed from channels, or notifications are turned off without warning, and YouTube is regularly rearranging the subscription feed to make it harder for people to watch the videos they want to watch and easier for them to notice the videos YouTube would rather they be watching. So advertisers aren't happy, the content creators aren't happy, the users certainly seem to have a lot to complain about. Who is happy with YouTube? Well, you know about the cat, right? Okay, in case you don't, Google has its own skunk works called Google X, where they develop all sorts of top secret stuff, including their AI, which used to be called DeepMind. They don't call it DeepMind anymore because people know about that, but I'm going to call it DeepMind because I think it's neat. They fed DeepMind about a week of random YouTube videos, no topic chosen. The AI was designed to learn on its own, and it was given the power to develop its own interests. Once it had chewed through a few million hours of YouTube videos, Google asked DeepMind, "What are you interested in?" DeepMind said, "Cats." Now, that might be adorable, but it shouldn't be a surprise. If you give the AI the ability to develop its own interests by watching YouTube videos, then by definition, its interests have to be something in those YouTube videos. And people upload a lot of cat videos. But Google was curious. What did DeepMind think a cat was? So they asked the question, DeepMind, what is a cat? This was DeepMind's answer. When I look at this, I don't think that's cute. I'm astonished. I think we're witnessing the birth of a technology that will be as revolutionary as the taming of fire. Because this is not an image that DeepMind grabbed from a YouTube video. DeepMind invented this image. This is DeepMind's idea of a cat. Google never told DeepMind what a cat was or that cats existed. DeepMind discovered that on its own. And they did this 7 years ago, in 2012, 4 years before DeepMind beat Lee Sedol at Go. One of my YouTube heroes is MKBHD, and when Marques Brownlee watched this video...
So how can I help you?
Hi, I'm calling to book a women's haircut for a client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd.
Sure, give me 1 second. Sure, what time are you looking for around?
At 12 p.m.
We do not have a 12 p.m. available. The closest we have to that is a 1:15.
Do you have anything between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m.?
Depending on what service she would like. What service is she looking for?
Just a woman's haircut for now.
Okay, we have a 10 o'clock.
10 a.m. is fine.
Okay, what's her first name?
The first name is Lisa.
Okay, perfect. So I will see Lisa at 10 o'clock on May 3rd.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Great. Have a great day. Bye.
He said this.
That in that sentence, that little pause, the it didn't have to do that but it did.
Hi, I'd like to reserve a table for Wednesday the 7th.
They're using that little pause, specifically to mimic a human. Like that Google programmed it, they told it to make those sounds to convince the person that they're talking to believe that they're speaking on the phone with a human.
No, they didn't. Marques Brownlee is a smart guy. He was speaking casually. He already knows this stuff, but no one at Google ever told it to do anything like that. Because first, the Google programmers would have to go hire a bunch of linguists, a bunch of scientists, to explain how does human speech work. Then they would have to build an algorithm that reflected that model. That's the old way of doing things. First, try to understand it, then try to mimic it. But this is incredibly time intensive, and the results are only as good as your model. Unless you have a hyper-accurate model, any flaws in your understanding will be built into the algorithm and we'll be able to tell when we pick up the phone that we're talking to a machine. Instead, Google just has DeepMind watch a bunch of videos, and then it says, that is what human speech sounds like. DeepMind watches the videos, then it builds many different models of human speech and tries them all out. It doesn't try them out on people. That would take far too long. It just compares them to the YouTube videos, which it can do very quickly. It keeps the best algorithms and throws out the ones that were less good. Then it starts over again using the best algorithms from the previous generation to create a new generation of different models of human speech. And because it was starting with a pretty good model, the next generation of algorithms are even better. Do this over and over again, and you get this.
See how may I hear you?
Hi, I'd like to reserve a table for Wednesday the 7th.
Because DeepMind can build models faster than any programmer, faster than 1,000 programmers. And it has all the data it needs because we are voluntarily uploading lifetimes of videos every week. Billions of hours of humans doing everything humans do. So anything humans do, DeepMind can figure out. And the crazy thing is, it does all this without understanding. No linguistic model could be accurate enough. A linguist might be able to come along and explain to you why people say and why they pause and why they repeat themselves, but DeepMind doesn't care why. It doesn't need to understand, because we've already taught it everything it needs to know. So you see a Snapchat gender swap filter and you think, oh, I get it. It's changing the jawline or the prominence of the nose, the interocular distance, the shape of the brow. And sure, these are all things that an anthropologist could explain are sex-linked traits. And an anthropologist could make a list of all of them and then programmers could start building models. But that's not what Snapchat did. It just told its AI, all these users are male, all these users are female. You figure out the difference. And because Snapchat's AI has watched thousands of hours of video uploaded by millions of users, it can figure out what makes someone's features seem masculine or feminine. And there may be some comedic results when it gets it wrong, but it's only going to get better. And it'll do it all without ever understanding what those ideas mean. Understanding would just get in the way. That's who the customer for YouTube is. That's why Google bought YouTube, so it could feed our lifetimes of video to its AI. That's it, just something I think is interesting. It's Friday night, why not? I hope you all have a good weekend.